Hi, it's Ileana. So I am going to talk about the Artemis program and how it connects to the secret space programs and purpose of the drone research happening over the United States. So there are rocket scientists that are currently working in NASA projects advancing the Artemis program in developing the Artemis rockets that will get humans to the moon and Mars by 2030, as well as delivering payloads of satellites going to other galaxies to further explore the far reaches of space. The Artemis rockets are powered by pulsed plasma engines instead of chemical propellants, or variants of gas as well as fuels. In my last remote viewing project, the Artemis Accords, I noticed that there's a connection between the Artemis Accords and advanced drone technology, which appeared in correlation with off-world projects and secret space programs. So those are three things that were connecting in my last remote viewing project. The remote viewing was focused on Tim Taylor, who had been a NASA launcher of spacecrafts. Those remote viewing findings showed that there are various types of plasma-powered crafts which have been developed, and they are looking for specific portal tech, energy signature activations, and that the portal jump rooms and facilities are also powered by plasma mini driver systems. These portals and underground illegal military facilities are being used in delivering supplies to the Mars and Moon bases. Some of the projects are not legally sanctioned, hence the cover of the drones doing the supposed research, which are actual reconnaissance projects to shut down the use of the illegal portal technologies in the underground facilities located in the United States and other countries. And the drones that I'm talking about, it's the ones that were flying over New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Florida, various parts of United States and other countries in Europe, flying over UK bases. I'm talking about those drones which was stated, the US government stated that they were officially sanctioned by the FAA to do flyovers for some type of research projects. It's to find those illegal portal jump gateway rooms and portal tech. And some of those are not your typical drones. They're black ops drones. They're also reconnaissance drones that are powered by advanced plasma technologies. And they're being utilized to find those illegal facilities underground and shut down the portal systems and the illegal reverse engineering of certain types of crafts. And some of those drones are plasma powered, and there's also specific reverse engineered crafts which are plasma powered that are larger, that are also looking for these portal systems in the underground facilities. There are some illegal military facilities which are unfortunately using this tech. So everything seems to connect to switching over to plasma as the source to power the next generation of rockets, and their reverse engineered crafts and portal systems are already powered by the plasma tech on Earth and secret black ops projects. There are several secret space programs being run concurrently in off-world projects which have been operational, having bases, colonies, and cities for the last 80 years on Mars and the Moon, so human colonization has already happened in those locations. The Artemis Accords allowed the opportunity to open new developments in updating the old Earth space programs and creating the Artemis program to develop the plasma rockets to return astronauts to the Moon and Mars by 2030, being able to travel to Mars in 2 months instead of 7 months, and building out the living habitats to put more mainstream human colonization on Mars and the Moon. And this develops the space industry as a modern way of us going to these locations. And it's catching up to disclosure, literally. This is being done as a way to catch up to modernizing the human-based U.S. Earth NASA programs and transitioning the outdated systems to the new Artemis program, which is the next generation of utilizing the advanced plasma rocket engine propulsion systems, which will help humans to go further out in space exploration and catching up with the higher levels of the secret space programs that exist in the non-disclosed Black Ops off-world projects. So let's have a look at what these plasma-powered Artemis rockets look like. They're big rockets, so they can deliver different payloads. They can deliver building supplies, satellite systems. They can shuttle humans to different planets, going to the Moon, Mars, space stations. So this is the next iteration of space travel in the space industry, in the public human space industry, of what the Artemis program is doing. And it's in concordance with NASA, some of the program stuff, but it's also phasing out having NASA more as a research system and slowly kind of phasing that out to the Artemis program as being the main spaceflight program that's being developed as the next generation here. And the rockets are very advanced and they're capable of going far out in space too and doing different things and delivering satellite payloads as well. The Artemis program plasma pulse powered rockets launch systems being set up on Mars and the Moon. So that's to be done by 2030, getting humans back to the Moon and Mars and starting to set up the mainstream living habitats on the Moon and Mars. So that's separate from the secret space programs because the Earth is also establishing its own program, and it's about time. And that's as it should be. You know, there's certain amounts of secrecy, yes, but there's also developments for setups that go beyond the secrecy, and it's the new kind of space age, I guess, the renaissance, if you will, of the Artemis program. And this is what it will look like. So there are larger rockets and smaller rockets that launch the payloads for the satellites to go into different galaxies. That's what it looks like. And so there are Artemis program rocket engineers who are launching the plasma rockets to send payloads of satellites to other galaxies to explore the far reaches of space. And this is what the smaller rockets look like that have many satellite systems on them for launches, and they can launch from space orbits or planetary systems, planetary bodies. For larger payloads or smaller payloads, they can be launched from different rocket sizes of these plasma-powered rockets. So there's variants of the rockets, and interestingly, there's female rocket scientists and engineers working in the Artemis program, male, scientists and rocket engineers. So it's a more inclusive program, for both genders, male and female, in the Artemis program. Female rocket engineers and scientists and male. In this industry, there's room for everybody. Also astronauts, and it's a more inclusive environment. It should be an inclusive environment. There should be equality here. But it's good to know that different types of groups are getting into being able to work as engineers in the space industry. Artemis program rocket engineers working on developing the rockets that utilize the plasma pulse engine propulsion systems instead of traditional chemical propellants. These rockets are advanced, and it's good that they're switching out to plasma-based engine systems, which require less energy, they're more cost efficient, and they're faster than traditional chemical propellants that used to power the old rockets, which take much longer to get to different planets, especially the Moon and Mars. It could take half a year with the old rocket systems. With the newer ones, plasma-powered ones, it's much more quicker, like 2 months instead of 7 months even. So this is good. Artemis rockets, which are powered by plasma pulse engines, are traveling to Mars and the Moon with human astronauts to begin colonizing these planetary systems and building living habitats, bases, and colonies in order to have sustainable space industries that are independent from Earth, as the rockets can deliver large payloads of building supplies and materials to begin building durable structures on various planets. What the Artemis program is planning to do is first build the living habitats and then build out various colonies and cities eventually for larger habitation of humans on the Moon and Mars. So that's the plan for 2030. And it's in development. This is what their plans are. So this is what some of these habitats look like, the living habitats. They're modules, circular modules. Some of them are round modules, cube-shaped, and they're using various supplies. They can 3D print the module systems, or they can deliver them in parts with plasma rockets, or they can use the building materials from the regolith on the Moon or the Martian materials that are there in minerals. There's various ways of building these modular sections and putting them together. So it's the Artemis program building the living habitats and base facilities which are being built on Mars and the Moon for 2030. And this is what these habitats look like, and they're interconnected. And you can build cities with them as well. And you can build components for growing your own food. The food can be grown with soil or hydroponics. Depends on what they want to use. So the Artemis program will have colonies and cities being built on Mars and the Moon to create long-term habitation environments for humans to live on these planetary systems. That's their main goal. U.S. is a huge contributor to the Artemis Accords, and other countries and nations who signed the accords several years ago. So that's what's contributing to these advancements being made in the mainstream space industry, and not just private aerospace companies going to Mars and the Moon. It's going more mainstream now. So the Artemis program will have a base of operations and facilities in cities being built as campus locations for launching the Artemis rockets that are powered by plasma pulse engines, making it easier to travel between the Earth, Mars, and the Moon. And also there's plans to build space stations and replace the ISS, the International Space Station, with a more advanced space station. And they have all kinds of plans in sections and phases for what they'll be doing. But the plasma pulse rocket engines for these newer rocket types are their main goal, and right now it's in phase 1 of development and will go into phase 2. So that looks very promising and very interesting information. And you know, there are the secret space programs that have more advanced technology, but this is a good start for what the Earth is coming up with and moving towards having their own advanced programs like the Artemis program. So this is the latest developments. So I wanted to share this information and discuss it. Thank you very much.